London, September 1940. The sky glows red, not with sunset, but with fire. Sirens wail, families run for cover. Bombs fall in waves, and then something worse. A storm of flame so intense it swallows entire streets. Fire doesn't just burn. It breathes, it grows, it consumes. This was the night London burned. The night the Blitz unleashed firestorms that turned the city into an inferno. The beginning of the Blitz, when Hitler failed to break Britain in the skies, he turned to terror from above. The Blitz began in September 1940, months of nightly bombing raids meant to crush British morale. London was the main target. Warehouses, factories, docks, but also homes, schools, entire neighborhoods. Yet it wasn't just the bombs themselves that terrified Londoners. It was what the bombs created: uncontrollable firestorms. The birth of a firestorm, here's how it happened. A single bomb could spark a blaze. But when hundreds of incendiaries rained down at once, fires merged, heat rose, air was sucked in, and soon flames fed themselves. Winds reached hurricane force, pulling people off their feet, dragging oxygen into the inferno. Entire districts of London became furnaces, burning at over 800 degrees Celsius. Stone cracked, steel melted, and anyone caught in the open stood no chance. The human horror survivors described the firestorms as living hell. Mothers carrying children collapsed from smoke. Families were trapped in basements as buildings collapsed above them. Firefighters fought not just flames, but exhaustion, sometimes working for 48 hours straight. And yet, ordinary citizens showed extraordinary courage, forming human chains to pass buckets of water, dragging strangers from rubble, refusing to abandon their city. London was burning, but its people would not break. The most terrifying night, on the night of December 29, 1940, London faced one of its worst attacks. In just a few hours, 100,000 incendiaries fell across the city. The flames merged into a firestorm so vast it lit the night sky for miles. St. Paul's Cathedral stood surrounded by fire, smoke swirling, flames licking its walls. Photographs of the dome rising above the inferno became a symbol of defiance, proof that London, though scarred, still stood. The Nazi strategy, Hitler believed the Blitz would crush British spirit. He thought civilians would beg their leaders for peace. But the firestorms had the opposite effect. Yes, they killed thousands and destroyed whole districts, but they also hardened resolve. Londoners took pride in surviving another night. Churchill famously declared, "We can take it." Instead of surrender, the firestorms gave Britain a grim unity. Out of the ashes, morale only grew stronger. The toll of the flames, but make no mistake, the cost was horrific. Between September 1940 and May 1941, more than 40,000 civilians were killed. 1 million homes were destroyed. Entire families were erased in seconds. Firestorms didn't just kill, they scarred survivors for life. Some lived with burns, others with trauma that never healed. London was a city standing, but forever changed. The Blitz firestorms were meant to be Hitler's weapon of fear. Instead, they became a story of survival. London burned, yes, but London endured. And in the very flames meant to destroy it, the city forged its own legend. The night London burned was one of history's darkest chapters, but also one of its brightest lights of resilience. And it leaves us with a haunting thought. If firestorms could not break a city, what will? In war, sometimes the deadliest weapons fail not because of weakness in walls or streets, but because of strength in people.